Oh shit, here we is. Welcome to party. Until I had to shave my beard because I was on set and needed to shave that shit. But you know, I promised all of you we'll do a quick live stream here, so we're doing a quick live stream. And I'm gonna just shut the door here. The cat's in here, so it's okay. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to live streaming with Pot Squatch. I promised you it would happen, and here it is, and here we is. Woo! Squatching range. What's up, buddy? Oh, lady, buddy, etc. Oh, no, don't worry. Beard's coming back. I just had to shave it off. I was on set shooting a bunch of shit for a docudrama series, the name of which I cannot share. But their season 2 is happening, so I had to shave it off and do a bunch of shit. Really not. I really wish I was on set more than I was, and I really wish it wasn't, you know, just doing docudrama and shit. We're period piece docudrama for National Geographic's fun. It's kind of like the second lowest rung of television, one step above reality television. So, but I promised all of you that I would come. And I would do a live stream. So we do the live stream. What's up? Hey, man, there we go, Squatching. Yeah, man, I'm home from work getting stoned. Cat says hi, everybody. What's up, Stephen Cray from the UK? Hey, that rhymes. Oh, fuck, I've been a tired Pot Squatch. So sorry, everybody, too. I will apologize. One second. Cheers. Nice, Squatchy. So simply put, I am sorry, everybody, that I have not released as much content as I usually do. I mean, there's always lulls in between my runs. And I mean, one of the things that I'm always extremely frustrated about with my YouTube and everything is like that I really wish that, you know, I could do this for a living, you know? And I mean, I don't monetize for 2 reasons. One, I don't know if YouTube would like that in the long run. And 2, I mean, this is a passion piece for me. I don't make these videos or stream or make content because I want to make money. It's important to me to share with all you people the few things that I've learned and share things as I learn them, as a direct confrontation to the misinformation that is all over the internet and a lot of the Facebook weed groups and fuck, let's not lie to ourselves. YouTube channels. I mean, a lot of YouTube channels are at least representing partial misinformation and. You know, I got sick of it and I was like, well, I'm just going to fucking share with all of you, you know, my 2 cents and things that I know that are fact or, things that I may not be sure of. I'll at least tell you what I think on them. And it's like, it's not just for Canadian pot growers. It's not just for Canadian pot smokers. It's for global pot smokers. We, the Pot Squatch Army, you know, we've got fans and fellow pot squatches all over the world, man. We got people across Europe. We got people through the Americas. We got people through Asia. We got people even through, I don't know if anyone from the Middle East has ever tuned in, but I mean, I've had at least people throughout Asia, Europe, and America, and Australia. And so that's pretty cool. And so I do it for all you guys and girls in season days. I mean, it's important to me to share shit and to build a community because I really believe in it. And so, but at the same time, Jesus fucking Christ, my friends, I'll tell you, I really wish I didn't have to fucking report 40 to 70 hours a week to a day job to pay my mortgage. I mean, the acting ain't paying bills. Let's not lie to ourselves, man. Let's not lie to ourselves. I make money occasionally doing it, but it's like, man, Ellie, pull your head out of the ass, you dumb fucks, man. Like, seriously. But I don't know. Maybe one day, man. We have a Patreon. But, you know, Patreon seems silly to me. It still exists if anyone ever wanted to donate. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping to win the lotto at least a little bit so I could just have more time to kind of really work on what I'm doing and, you know, work to help all you guys, girls, Z's and days with your grows. I mean, I've always toyed with different ideas. Like, oh, maybe I'll like do a help you know, line where you call in any time of the day, I'll answer your questions and shit. But it's like, man, like, what do you charge for that? I can't bring myself to charge for that. And we could do it by donation, but that's not concrete, really, is it? In terms of fiscal realities of what I could or could not make. So it's like, I don't know. That's where like a lot of other YouTube channels are really lucky to be able to monetize. I mean, let's face it. I mean, we're not that big yet. I mean, we might make a few bucks. Um, my secret hope is that maybe eventually a producer out there somewhere is like, well, this crazy Canadian asshole, let's make a fucking weed show with this bastard. Maybe one day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. I don't have an ashtray, so I'm just going to ash on top of my cassette tape collection that has not really been unpacked or put up. It's more for show. A lot of the tapes are old, and where they work, they old, and I don't want to stretch them out. I'd rather keep them intact, so let's keep them there. But anyway, let's get back to the weed shit. This is a motherfucking weed channel, bitch. So, marijuana. I'll give you an update on me, and then we can maybe field some questions or talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We got the clones going. Predominantly, the next crop is going to be predominantly blueberry indica, our pre-2000, the true original, yes. We're probably going to have about 6 or 7 bubble gums going too, but maybe 1 King's Kush. But so yeah, predominantly though, what you're going to be seeing on the channel on the next grow is all blueberry indicas, pre-2000 blueberry indica. Fuck yes. And we're going to be reorienting the lab and how everything works. Gonna make it sexy, gonna make it nice, you know what I'm saying? And showing you how to grow dope and shit. Someone messaged or commented earlier, newer channel based out of Australia. I think they're called Aussie Big Buds or something like that. And so I made a post because now once we broke 2,500 subscribers, big yes, we broke that, guys, ladies and Z's and they's. So they were like, I made a post. I was like, who wants to live stream tonight? And they're like, hey, man, like, I got a channel. I'm trying to grow it. And, like, anything I can pick up to help my people and help my fans. I'm like, well, fuck yeah, man. Like, and so that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I won't lie to you. I'm exhausted. I was on set all day yesterday. I was working at the pub all night tonight, dealing with drunk fucking assholes and fucking douchebags. My quads are barking, you know? It's like, trench warfare is not a joke, even if you're just recreating it. And man, military equipment heavy, you know what I'm saying? But it's all right. Went good. I'm gonna be back on the set next week, all week. Maybe we'll do a fun live stream or fun video where I take you up to the apartment that I used to live in. I still have it. Don't own it, just lease it. But I've subletted it to Uncle Michael. Long-term fans will remember him from other videos, and we'll show you what the closet looks like now. It has clothes in it. It's no longer a grow-up, baby. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we got those clones coming. We've been making lots of hash and doing lots of shit like that. And you know, we're gonna be, maybe I'll do some crazy, you know, rosin press videos because I'm gonna be making a shitload of hash. And then pressing that into rosin. Like we're talking like a solid pound brick that I'm going to produce. Always nice having a place for your clothes. Yeah, no, that's true. I think Mrs. Squatch felt the same way, you know, when we bought the house and moved out of Vancouver to the middle of nowhere. You know, she's got a walk-in closet now that isn't filled with weed plants. Ooh, that's a better nice. Does anyone have any weed questions? I mean, you know, a bunch of you said, let's do this live stream. So I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Excuse me. She was doing better. That time at the end of that live stream where I had to go she's been going through a lot. I mean, she just had surgery a few days ago. Um, she was supposed to take 2 weeks off work, but fiscal realities, right? And so she just went back to work today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, squatching. Well, that's fucking awesome, man. I'm happy about that. But yeah, Mrs. Pot Squatch is doing a lot better. And she's just been under a lot of stress, you know what I mean? Like moving and buying a house and building a whole new world, new whole communities, people and shit, and being away from your family, all that crap. And so, like, I mean, she's been going through a lot. And yeah, so it's a good thing though. I made the right choice that night when I ended that live stream when I did. I was not in trouble. It wasn't really even about me, but it's like, she needed my support as her partner to be there, make her laugh. If there's one good thing I'm good for, it's I'm good for a laugh. So totes squatching, 100%. What's your opinion on auto seeds? Okay, Steven. Do you want my honest answer, Steven? Because I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. Might be a little bit of a harsher answer that you're looking for. But Steven, auto-flowering cannabis that has been released by anyone other than some of the original ones, which I still find interesting in premise, is a novelty thing. Auto flowers are a novelty. The only auto flowering cannabis that has any room in my seed collection or where I'm growing is, in actual fact, natural land race ruderalysis from Mother Nature. But an auto flowering cannabis was designed for smaller, compact. Some of them are bigger now, but I mean, it's like easy to grow kind of stuff. And I mean, by the nature of eliminating photo period requirement, the cannabinoids just never, ever, ever get the chance to truly become what they are. I mean, I'm not saying there's not autos out there that are fire shit that'll fuck you up, but I'm saying they are never stronger than their photoperiod parents that went into making those seeds, right? So what I'm saying is, auto flowerings are nifty and cool, and I'm sure they have their place in someone's life, but no real grower grows autos. A real grower does not grow auto flowering cannabis unless it is a naturally occurring land race. There's no point to grow that oh wait, I just finished an auto run, was great, but limited. Okay, cool. And fem seeds are by and large, for the most part, all right. But remember, a feminized seed is not what a true breeder grower will ever acquire if you can avoid it. Sometimes it's what you got to do because it's all you can find for a certain strain. But the fact of the matter is a feminized seed has had colloidal silver or aspirin or something else like that. A chemical nature coming into the plant's weed teddy that's so strong that it's able to force itself to freak out in self-defense, grow nuts, and knock itself up for fear of non-survival. Anything chemically going into a plant triggering that amount of change in its genetics to do this and inbreeding itself with female genetic-based male nut pollen created by chemical induction, that's not good, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I got feminized seeds too for certain things because it's all I could find. But if you can avoid them, do. Fucking, learn how to fucking gender plants and not be afraid of growing out traditional non-feminized seed, do it. I mean, because guess what? Maybe you want to breed some, man. Know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you keep those nutsack juice pollens and then you make your own seeds. I mean, eventually the big corporations, look at North America, man, they're trying to fucking patent that shit. They're coming for us, motherfuckers. So it's like we should all be like having good practices in terms of the genetics we use and select, saving them, making our own seeds, preserving them because they're, the big corporate conglomerates are coming for us. I mean, like, it's sad in Canada that, craft cannabis, like, I tried to open one, but I can't afford their licenses for recreational cannabis production. Canada costs $3 to $6 million. I'm a fucking actor who's lucky they're paying their mortgage. And I work as a bartender. I have to tell people, like, oh man, what's your trade? I'm like, well, I'm an actor, writer, comedian, filmmaker, and dope grower. What does that really mean? I am a bartender. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that sheds some light, at least on my 2 cents on feminized seeds and autoflowering. Ruderalis also has its uses. You just have to breed it into other shit and get rid of the fucking autoflowering. Because, well, you know, autoflowering, ruderalis is naturally occurring, or ruderalis genealogies, many of them have very high CBD content, like off the charts, retarded high CBD, higher than any hemp plant you'll ever meet. The lineage of ACDC, which is the mother plant that went into the Sasquatch strain that we have, that we developed over 2 years, is 22% CBD, 16% THC. You know, the ruderalis in her is she's a photo, but the ruderalis in her is where the majority super punch of the 22% CBD came from. I think I'm stoned enough for now. Who has another question? A friend gave me a blueberry / gum seed. Wait a minute. Are you saying blueberry crossed with like bubble gum? If that's what you're saying, that's pretty cool. Those are the 2 strains we're growing right now in the next run. I've been wanting to cross them forever. I was going to call it, well, it's not a very creative title, but it's very much what it is, blue bubble gum. But the question is I want to do it in 2 different ways. Because obviously these are, I've got mother plants so I can create clones. I don't have males of these seeds. And this is going back to where our usage for feminized seed can come into play. I would love to force feminize, take 2 sets of them, right? So 1 blueberry, 1 bubblegum, and force Hermie, which is what feminized seeds are. No, Squatch's gum, I would call if I were to cross the Dark Mama phenotype of the Sasquatch strain with bubble gum, then I would call it Squatch gum or something like that. Whatever you said. Squatch's gum. I kind of like that. My original one when I thought of that cross was bubble squatch. Cause like, and as 1 word, it's not like 2 words, but like bubble squatch. Cause I think that's pretty funny. I find that amusing. So that was a fun way to call it too. It just sounds odd and funny, doesn't it, though, if you think about it? Like, it's not the way you'd think the words would come together. But, you know, it works. And there you go. If anyone has any marijuana questions, you're welcome to ask. But also, too, until then, I'm just going to fucking share that sometimes as a pretender, holy shit, you really want to go home? Some drunk, obnoxious motherfuckers living out in the middle of nowhere, man. They drive me up the fucking wall. Tonight was karaoke, right? So, okay, so squatching. 1, it's always good to start with good genetics that mainly go dense, but no, there's many things you can do. I mean, 1, introducing, obviously. Sorry, the door opened on its own. I don't know who opened it, but I don't think. Yeah, 3K. Well, it gives you versatility. 3K is good for veg and it's good for flower. But, 1 second. Okay, so obviously running CO2 excretion in your room is going to up your fucking yield. Occasionally, near end, last 3 or 4 weeks, you can put a little, like, just basic sugar in there. Not much, like a teaspoon to a gallon. That'll help a little bit. Carbonated water is also a very good one. Because the fact is, carbonated water can up your yield, 10 or 15%, maybe up to 30 at times. I've witnessed it do that, I think. in that, like I'd been growing something, then I used it, and it was the only variable that changed. So, and that's part of what growing is every time you grow something, try some shit a little different, you know what I'm saying? Get to know what it is, you know, play with that shit. And then grow the same shit a bunch of times and fuck around with it. That's how you learn the genetics of a plant, you know, that's how you get used to it, understand what it is. There we go. I turned down the light and now you can see my hairless elbow space. It's funny on set yesterday because they're like, me, you want to shave off your mustache? I was like, sure. Their clipper can only get it down to this. So I was like, put some more dirt around it, it'll be okay. The motion to it. There we go. So who has another question? CO2, run that in your flower room during autoflower. Start it in week 2, I would say. Or when you start to get weed titties. Mrs. Squatch. The funny thing is, though, she's so cute. She's recovering from surgery. She should not be walking. And she's like, I'm going to bring that bitch a beer. But the funny thing is I knew she was recovering from surgery, so I brought extra beer and put it on the shelf. Look behind you, baby. But I love you. I'll drink yours first, because I love it. So, my friend, it's Pot Squatch. Want to say hi?
Hello. My hair is gross.
All right, then. That's one of our puppies. It sounded like Mogwai. Squatch range 85 says hello, Squatch. She says hi back. She's probably in the giving out quite her voice was. Good thing about my voice, it pierces. I know, except I did this one time. Oh no, now there's 2. No, just joking. I bought 2, me. But yeah, so CO2, club soda. Get yourself, if you can, one of those sodas. No, cat, get in the fucking house. Sorry, my cat is like 10 years old now, and he thinks he's tough. He's a big fucking asshole, and he knows how to fight a bit. But he's been sneaking out at night when I've been smoking. He's gone out a couple of times now, and there's like big fucking animals out here and shit. Like, we're talking like proper bush shit. And I'm like, dude, you're too old. Luke was 18. You're like 46. Fuck off. I don't actually know the conversion of cat years to stuff, but, you know, there you go. But, club soda, man. Get that club soda, man. The carbonation in the water, I'm a big believer in that really works. It aerates, it makes it very nice for the roots. They like it. It's very nice, especially, you know, molasses to nutritional source, but I do provides a very nice excess sugar during mid-flower. So we're talking like 3 weeks to like, depending on strain, you know, 6 to 8 maximum, you know, unless it's like weird 13-week sativa, they exist, and then they go longer, so you do it longer. But hey, thanks, Mark Hall. Where you from, man? Where you from? Oh, and I was a dumbass again. I may interrupt this, everyone. I've been doing this on my data package like a dumbass. Oops. So I'm going to try to turn on my Wi-Fi and see if I can make it keep going. Everyone stay tuned. Let's find out. Okay, well, 1. It is later in flower, but what I would do, how split is it? Send me a motherfucking email, dude. Send me an email with a picture of it, and I will answer that better. Pasquatch420@gmail.com. But, Yeah, you can bind that shit, man. I mean, bind it and hope for the best is what I would say to do. Bind the stem and hope for the best. I mean, earlier on, it could totally recover and regenerate. Like I've accidentally, sometimes in purposely, experiments, split shit a lot. You can bind it and it'll come back together. Pot Squatch, like POTSQUATCH 420 at gmail.com. And that is the email that has been set up for me to communicate with all of you. But you can bind your stock. Bind that shit with some shit. What could you use? You could use rope. What I would do is maybe put a piece of rope at the top of the split, hold it together, then bind it with zigzags, like a band-aid. And then then after they draw it, then wrap more rope around it to hold it together. Squirt some water and shit inside of the split right before you tie her back together and shit. And like, yeah, send me motherfucking pics, yo. Everybody, feel free to send me pictures, either if you just want to share or if you just want to like ask a question. Because I'll be honest, bit of a dumbass, brilliant dumbass occasionally, but dumbass. So it really helps me to be able to help you guys and girls and Z's and A's if I can see the shit you're talking about. If you can show me what I'm looking at, it helps. It really does. It totally does. Funny how that works. Mrs. Potsquatch is so sweet bringing me a beer. My goodness. The puppies are fighting in the background. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can hear them now. It's quite amusing sounding. It's like, puppy UFC. Like, isn't FaceTime an iPhone thing, though? I'm an Android. If it's not, I apologize for being ignorant on that. I'm kind of an old man when it comes to certain things, but I'd be happy to do that. I'm happy to help any of you fellow pot squatchers with your questions. I can't tell you I know everything, but I can tell you that I know at least enough to try to help. And I'm always learning more, because the true grower is the forever student. Thanks, Lone Star Incorp. I mean, the thing for me that I hate about it is that I didn't want to shave my beard. I had to. Yeah, I'm shooting a period piece TV showy thingy, and, you know, it sucks. My face gets right cold now in Canada. Fuck yeah, Squatchin, Range 85. Is that a South African or a British accent? It's neither. What you're hearing is a weird garbled... Okay, well, it depends on which one of the voices. Right now, how I'm talking, okay, this is an actual Canadian sound. Ladies and gentlemen, there's maybe one or two voices that, like, when I grew up, so when I was younger, I mean, this would be one of my voices. You want to know my actual voice? Hi, I'm Josh D. Fletcher. Nice to meet you. How you doing? I'm the man that's behind all the weird sounds that you see and hear. But then, it's about, not about, it's about all the Americans think that Canadian way you talk. Now, this is more a Newfoundland sound. Okay, so this is Newfoundland. That's Canadian, East Coast Canada. I live on the West Coast now, but so part of my family is Newfies, and I'm really quite close, a bunch of them. So, you know, that's part of the heritage there. But then there's also this. So, they're both me. It's just, you know, accent and other shit. But there you go, my friends. You just heard the real voice behind the Squatch. He was like, oh man, I hate your voices. There's so many voices, I hate them. I'm like, well then, why are you watching channel? This seems very dumb. But, hey, fuck you too, anyway. But that was the real voice. You just heard that it just happened. Was it good for you? It was weird for me. Good morning, unseated. I don't know the proper pronunciation of your name because I'm probably being an idiot, but welcome to the morning to you as well. Unseated. Thank you. That's what I was hoping for. That works for my brain. Welcome to the morning, unseated. It's a beautiful day. Another day, another dollar, as it were. Yeah. 1 second. I'm going to read some of these things. 1 second. Oh, nice. 1 second. Do you ever grow your plant to 80% amber trichomes? Why or why not? Well, simply put, ASO films. Okay, I've accidentally had things go past, but I have taken a plant, I've taken the Sasquatch strain to about a 75% amber trichrome level. Okay, so that is the one that we developed as 22% CBT, 11% THC, or 16% THC. Forgive my brain, a little bit all over the place. But the fact is, the Sasquatch strain is a very beautiful lady. Now, I have ridden that strain to about a 75% amber trichromage. The one thing I've noticed with a majority of all special and strains, a lot of the initial notes of the terpene profile, the flavor, especially, drastically change when you ride something that hard and long. You do get on certain strains something out of it that I quite enjoy, like Sasquatch at 75% amber was a funky mean bitch. But, you know, I prefer her at about a 30, just in terms of generality. I mean, you know what? I kind of like having, multiple strains, though, harvested at different grades of ambers for myself personally, for my own personal consumption and enjoyment. Because really, I mean, it gives you a strain's vitality at 3 different stages, and you can, because they all have different purposes. All strains, all plants, I mean, harvested at different times will have different effects. I know it just makes it more, complicated. That's what makes it fun. Oh, definitely. Well, the CBN conversion is quite nice too, because, like, for example, with me, sometimes, especially with like a sativa strain, I find it quite anxiety bringing. But with the high CBN conversion, it really counteracts the THC and works with all the other cannabinoids that have also shifted, and it's less anxiety bringing then. So later pick sativa is going to be like, that's going to be the time more often when I leave a plant longer to have a much, much higher amber trichomage would be with a THC laden sativa strain. Uh, I mean, I respect the species, but the more in the command. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say the CBN has a huge body high, though. I mean, it does a bit. I would describe the body high from CBN, though, as more of a midway. It's not like that kind of left hook to the gut. It's blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be more like, solar plexus hit. Hey, ASO Films, I say do it. Let us know how it turns out. If you're filming it and putting it up, let us know. I would like to watch, And I've never grown Cinderella 99 before, but I have friends that have, and they like it. It's one of those newer strains, and it's like, man, like I'm still trying to collect and grow some of the older strains that I want to keep playing with. So it's like, man. Plus, also, too, I'm quite skeptical in terms of a lot of breeders out there, and that's not, anything against them. It's just, in order for a strain to be called a strain, in my humble opinion, it needs to be at least cubed, which means you stabilize the strain for 4 generations through selective inbreeding. Is it eugenics? Yes, but guess what? Just because Nazis used it doesn't mean other people can't use it. Okay, eugenics aren't evil. Nazis just were. Right? Okay, it's very nice. 1 second. Someone said something. The HLG lights are tough to nail down with height and intensity. Well, I would say not so much. I think you need to treat them like HPS. So, but HPS 1/3. So, if you put an HPS to one certain height, lower it down, because quantum boards are throwing out a lot less heat. So, the fact of the matter is, with the quantum board, is you're getting a greater ppf in terms of wattage consumption than you do with a high pressure sodium. And the fact is the light intensity is there. It's a different light intensity the way it's being given off, So you got to be creative on how you mount your light and how it's going. I mean, we did it on the curve, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm putting a big cross beam between my two towers, and I'm just going to have all those quantum boards just crank it straight the fuck down. But it was a good experiment to do, to play with the lights, to see how they were the first time. But so simply put, always watch your plants though too. Like, I mean, if you've got your lights set on something where you can lower them and raise them, you can watch your plants and they will tell you what is right or wrong for them. Watch them, learn from them, see from the titty, watch the titties. The titties will tell you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, everyone, welcome to the infamous time that I gotta piss. But guess what? I'm an asshole, so don't worry. I'm not gonna be weird about it. I'm just gonna piss while we're live streaming. Happens. Beer's a bitch. Diuretics. Thanks a fucking lot. I think this will be the second or third time I've pissed live on the internet now. Life goals, right? Life goals. Yep. Hey, at least I'm an honest brick and I'm not trying to hide it from you. Be like, oh, I'm at a sink that's not in a washroom, even though it kind of looks like I'm in a washroom. And I'm not peeing. No, definitely not happening. Not pissing at all. I'm peeing. 1 second, everyone. Betty, little puppy, I don't want to pee on you, honey. Watch out, honey. Just the puppy's here. Cat's bad for that too. Even though he's old, occasionally he just come up and taking a piss, you have some beers, and he like, hey man, what's happening? Like, dude, I'm pissing on your fucking head now, man. Shit. Silly pets, you know. Always accidentally pissing on them. It's their fault though, they jump in the way. You're just trying to take a piss, right? And the fucking piss is just, hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh, crap. That's the American beer. Well, all beer makes me piss. I've lived all over the world, to be frank, but PBR, I don't know where PBR started. I'm sure it was an American beer, but I like it. I mean, the beer I drink that's PBR is brewed here in Guelph, Ontario, and it's shipped here from there. That's true, Gregory. But you know what? Okay. Do you guys want to hear a funny fucking story about marking my territory, kinda? It was funny. So when we first moved into the new house, we went out drinking at the pub, came home, and like I had been drinking. So, you know, good, wonderful night, you know, with the missus and everybody and make new friends. And so we go to bed. But the funny part is like, drunk me will not really wake up, but will know it, you know, it needs to pee. So it's, you know, if I'm living in a place that I know, like I can like autopilot through my whole house. Like it's like a step above sleepwalking, if that makes sense. But barely. But I couldn't find my way out of the room. So Mrs. like Squatch is like, she wakes up and she's like, oh no, he's doing his late night. I've been drinking. I need to go pee, but this is a new house and he doesn't know what's happening. So then first I go to the window and try to open the window through a doorknob. Didn't work. She like, honey, no. So then I went to her closet and opened that. She's like, no. So I closed that. Then I went back to the window, tried to open that again. She said, no. At which point I walked past the door to get out of the room and walked up to the other window, which is literally this window right there. This window. And I whipped my fucking dick out and I pissed all over this window. And then went back to bed. No memory of any of this happening. Couldn't find my way out of the room. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, since I've learned my way out of the room and I can, you know, not pee on the window. But it was a funny thing, though, when we moved in. So when you said marking your territory, and I just moved into the first house I have ever bought with my, you know, missus, and I was like, it totally was kind of one of those moments. Just Couldn't find my way to the room, but maybe subconsciously, subconscious, even more subconscious than my asleep self, walking around trying to find the way to the washroom. It knew I was not trying to find my way to the washroom. I was just finding the right corner in the room to piss on. It happens, eh, Corey? It happens. Accidental peeing happens. Gregory, why you dead? When did I say I was getting mad at the puppies? I mean, I do occasionally get stern with them because you have to train the puppies, especially when they poop and shit in the wrong places. But I'm not mean. I'm very loving to my puppies. I cuddle those motherfuckers pretty good. It's hard not to. They're like fucking tinier and shit. They're so cute. Yorkie poos, man. Yorkie poos, right?
Oh no, Lord Gregory, this is the best watch talking to you. Nobody else is saying this. Right now, you're so high. This is happening. Gregory. Gregory.
Gregory. Sorry, just fucking with you, man. I'm a little high and drank a little bit too, so it's just fucking with you.
Oh, wow.
So, how's everyone doing? Does anyone have a grow question? It's okay if you don't. You can just hang out and get drunk and high. Well, yeah, like Lone Star. Wait, your tank. What do you mean by tank? Are we talking fish tank or are we talking like an army tank? Are you growing in an army tank right now? Typically, I am a 2-week flush prescriber, personally. Ah, thank you, Squatching. Then if you meant in your tent, then that's fine. I wouldn't say you need a dehumidifier. I would say just like take a fan. If it's a big fan, put the fan. You never put it on your titties. Like bounce it on the bottom of your tent in the wall, right? And then that air is gonna bounce up into your titties. You don't need a dehumidifier that way. You're gonna have to play with strength of force versus not trying to dry out your shit too fast for molding issues. But that's why then harvest it, but only remove the big fan leaves. Leave the sugar trim and all that shit. Trim that shit dry. I got a video, it's called How to Manicure Your Weed Titties. And, you know, I go over that in that video. I was trimming some bubblegum titties, I think, in that fucking video. But that is how I would say to go about it. That's how I would do it. That's exactly what I would do. That's what I would do. Don't need no dehumidify shit. Just make sure you got proper air movement. Let the weed titties do them. I totally just slipped down the fucking step because I was standing up my heel because it felt funny. Oops. Okay, so Lewis Burke, to answer your question, every marijuana is different, okay? So there is no set level for your lights for weed plant. But what your weed plant is saying, Daddy, we don't like being at 14 inches. So your plant is saying, take me up. So I would say, play with it, go up 3 inches, go to 17. Because you said you were at 14, so 17 inches. See what happens. Well, if they still don't like it, And remember that the places where damage has already happened, damage will continue to spread. It just happens. But you must learn to watch the ways of the plant for that one. And you will learn. It comes in time. It just like I fucked up and killed a lot of shit very early on. Okay, so that was Lewis's question. And now we have an analogy. My analogy is if you got thirsty from not drinking, it's not so bad. But if you got thirsty from the sun, it's not so good. So don't use a dehumidifier. Yeah, I like that. As long as the dehumidifier is more making the semblance of sitting in a fucking dry ass desert, the sun doesn't help. Because the only problem with that analogy is the fact the light quotient isn't part of it. In actuality, right, what we're talking about is dry. But, yeah, I did. ASO films. You can, I will not lie to you. I mean, I don't necessarily advocate this type of feeding, but I know that marijuana is capable of doing it. It is something I don't advocate, but I will teach you the ways of maybe this is not quite the dark side. We'll call it the gray side. A marijuana plant, if you train it and build it up to it, can take retarded amounts of fertilizer. I've dabbled in the ways of the forest feed to the utmost extent. And you can get away with it. You totally can. I find it does change some of the inflections of the pot, though. So I don't do it. That's why I call it the gray zone forest. But you can technically feed it as much as you want, man. As long as you build it up to the level at which you are feeding. Within reason. I mean, obviously you can't dump a whole fucking gallon of shit on shit. But it's like using realistic understanding of being a grower and you're like, wow, feeding and stuff. Like frequency and stuff. Like you can feed every day. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can do it. You can, I don't know. It's like you can force feed a chicken and make it really big. But is that chicken titty gonna taste better? Same thing for your weed titties. Well, this is where I'm gonna be honest with you. Also, ASL films. I am not one to partake in the parts per million way of fertilizing. I find it one place to overanalyze, and I don't like doing a ppm. I am more of a man who goes old school with it. And I just use mixes that I know, and I play with it, and I use watching the plant to tell me. More dangerous, yes, but I find that a more intimate reality to dance. It's like having sex. For me, you know, I like having sex with women. That's my thing. So it's like you're making love to a woman. You learn how to tweak her hot spots and sexy. No, fuck yeah, man. If you doing cocoa, man, you got no residuals in anything in that shit. She's just there to support and hold water and nutrients, right? So it's like you definitely got to feed. But at the same time, I'm going to say regardless of medium, you should be fucking giving watering days too. Gives your plant a chance to breathe. It's more natural, right? Like, because like we got to remember that where we're indoor and we're synthetic, we are recreating Mother Nature. And we're also allowed to play with her laws to maybe do a better job. But we will never outbeat her, but we can actually do better jobs in actual fruit because we can control things she can't. So outdoor farming seasons, you're going to run into shit. Well, we can control that. We can have at least consistency to what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. For me, it depends on plants and depends on what I see. I have very large range of how it does it. I kind of freestyle every feed and grow. Each grow is like playing a song on the guitar for me now. I just go with it. Please don't be offended, everyone, but my pants keep falling down because I was holding the phone and I could not do my pants up. And that sucked. Whoop. Oh. Ooh. in the chair again. So everyone, where is everyone from? We have many British people, I think, on right now, which makes sense given times things. Wait, I'm not. Oh, you got the piss out? Okay, see you later, car and piss out, man. No, I do not use a parameter. I use the force. I know that sounds retarded and stupid, but that's actually true. Because remember, Kush crazy, think about it like having sex with someone, right? You don't continuously hit them pound, pound, pound the whole time. You give them time to breathe. And next time you come for them, it's more intense. It builds. So your wit titties are very much like real titties, like that. If you know what I mean. Yes, and with you unseated. What's up, cat? What do you need, me? One second. You know, it's funny. Cool, yeah. I'm in day 22 flower. Very nice. Congratulations, 1 day after 3 weeks. Very nice. How the titties looking? They should have been looking very nice for 3 weeks. Well, you don't want anything too high. It depends again on plant and the way it has resin levels, and it's knowing your read titties, but you know, 40 to 60 is good. 40 to 60 is good. Have air movement, have some fans, not directly on the titties, but moving things around. And that's very nice. It's very good. Frosty, what do you and you do a great job for feeling old at school. Wait, what? Oh man, ASO Films, I'm gonna tell you something. I do not need the PPM system, man. I do not. I'm all about bracing new ideas. I understand the PPM system. I understand the way the feeding works. I don't need it. It's not my style, man. Because I think growing is also like an art form, man. That's why if I ever owned a company, if my government stopped being a fucking asshole, I would be about craft cannabis, man. I'd be like Tesla, man. It'd be like, I don't want to sell 200,000 vehicles. I just want to sell like 1,000 vehicles, but they're like bomb as shit. Stoked for what? Kush Chris I. Oh fuck yeah, man. Is this the first time you've ever grown anything? Or grown anything? Sorry. Fuck yeah, buddy. That's awesome. So, okay, what's the strain you growing, man? It's your first time. It's like your first pussy, or if you're a woman, well, it doesn't matter. Whoever you chose to fuck the first time, and like that, right? Boom. Gregory Ruiz, weed titties do that naturally. You can help them along, but that's the natural thing. It's called the last 2 to 3 week explosion. It's like, it's just natural, man. It happens. You don't need to do shit to help it along. Just have enough light. I mean, one of the most quintessential things, my friends, if you want to grow some dense weed titties, you want to have some fucking nice weed titties, the simplistic, most important variable, other than maybe good soil and good genetics and basic understanding of how not to kill a plant, is enough light. With marijuana, More light within reason and understanding means more bud. It's not how many weed plants you have. It's how big you grow them and how much light you have. You can grow a fuckload of weed with 4 weed plants if you know how to do it. That sounds very tasty, Kush Crazy. It sounds very new age and possibly not stabilized. So, how many of them do you have going right now? Fuck yeah, Corey. Quantum boils for the win. Matthew Campbell, how what wattage is your sodium lighting system? Don't worry. Back in the day, I used HPSs. I may be LED man now, but I was HPS at one point. Well then, Kush Crazy, that is the universe telling you these are the weird titties for you to fuck the first time. Well, I mean, okay. So, second question, if you don't mind answering, where in the world are you? What does power cost? Because like power costs vary different amounts, even in my own country, depending on where you is, man. So, to answer that question, help you see into that, I need to understand like what your power costs are there, man. Okay, so you're in America, so like your power is not going to be more than mine because we pay more for shit in Canada than you guys do mostly. So, okay, your 600 watt would be roughly equivalent to one of my quantum board systems. So, if this answers your question, in terms of my power bill, I mean, when I was in Flower, I had 3 of those going. I was running a 14,000 BTU AC in there. I was running the veg tents. I was running a fucking 7,000 BTU fucking air conditioner for the other part of the house. 2 fridges, and an oven when I used it, and stove. And that, so my bill then was maybe like 672 Canadian dollars. But it's like, I'm pretty sure we pay a lot more for power probably than where you are at. So if that gives you perspective, I mean, it's probably not going to cost you. Like, what's too much going up for you? That's another question. How much is too much going up for you? Like what's your perspective? If you're worried about people looking at your bill and seeing like this huge spike, nah, that's inconsequential. A 600 watt HPS is not going to fucking put your power up in any way that's going to freak anybody out. But if it's a fiscal thing for you and like cost and stuff, well, then like, how much is too much for you? Sorry, tired, brain quieting. Woo. What's up? So, my friends, I'm gonna lie to you. Hey, Gregory, you do you, man, and I'll support you every step of the way. If you love weed and you're young, move to where it's legal. Unseated, maybe, but also too, like I will encourage people anywhere in the world. I mean, fight for your rights because it is a fucking plant, and I don't care where you live. They don't have a right to say no to weed, and there's a lot of purposes. And yeah, Cat says yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's a fucking plant, man. So I will encourage don't take risks, don't get yourself in trouble or try to avoid it, but don't be afraid to fight if it's something that you believe in and you want to fight for. Ah, well, Matthew, I'm assuming it comes with a ballast. Do you have a ballast for it? Oh, ASO, I'm happy to answer anyone's questions. Sometimes if I don't see them, I apologize. And like in comments and stuff, because like that's why emails are better. Because like I notice those better. Uh, 1 second. Oh, shit, Matthew, what did I ask you? Spark Uncle Pot Squatch's brain. I'm an old man. Spark my brain. What did I ask? Sorry. Wait, maybe I can scroll back and know what we're talking about. Regardless, I'm just gonna say blowing fuse with HPS. A 600 watt HPS. So you need to check your ballast. It should have a sticker on it. What I need to know, okay, this is what I need to know. This is the important thing. It's called amperage. What is the amperage draw of that ballast? Because a dedicated 15 amperage breaker, I'm assuming you guys have the same watering breakers as we do. I mean, you're America and Canada. I mean, we're different, but we're not that different. In certain things, we have the same. And so I'm pretty sure guys are on 110 like we are, because I think we're, and 15 amperage breakers. So as long as your amperage draw doesn't exceed 15, technically, I mean, maybe give it at least an amp, leeway on stuff. But as long as it's on a dedicated breaker, that you're not running too many other amperage devices on, you'll be fine. You just got to be smart about which plug you plug it into, really. And that's just called thinking about it and looking at your fuses and shit. But like a 600 watt HPS, that's not too bad. So you tell me the amperage, and I'll tell you what what you're looking at. As long as you got 15 amp breakers, math's pretty simple. You know what I'm saying? These are bay leaves hanging in the. By the way, our old neighbors are like 90. They're like, "You always want some bay leaves," and we're like, "Okay." So we're just drawing them. They're good for soup. Not really. I mean, you might see an increase in maybe a week, but like not even though. What you're gonna notice more is, I mean, for some strains you might see that. To be honest, I mean, the strain being healthier and having access at an earlier age to the true proper coverage of nutrients that it wants, it could definitely be much faster. But I would also say a majority of most strains of what you're going to see and what you're going to get to know is more instead seeing a vast difference in terms of size, density, and quality of the buds being produced rather than a huge reduction in time window. Does that make sense? I mean, when I was a kid, I did a lot of gardening and stuff when I was, a kid with my mom, to be honest. Um, but no, yeah, I just kind of spent 20 years growing weed. I have a house with a vegetable garden next year. I'm very much looking after winter freeze, to try to do my own little vegetable garden and shit. But like I've read about a lot of plants, but I can't say that I've grown them. Just read about them. No, to be honest with you, I don't think it did. I think it inspired the love of growing anything for sure. I would say the love of marijuana came from one, I enjoyed it because, like, I mean, I wasn't a medical patient when I was a kid, but I started smoking pot 13 and fucking around growing at 13. And so I think love of pot came from one, I quite enjoyed how it was. I enjoyed the taste, the flavor, the smell, and what it was for me. I really enjoyed that it was this rebellious thing because, both my parents are priests. I know, sounds fucked up. In England, it would be called the Church of England. In Canada, we call it Anglican. In America, you'd call it Episcopalian. So I grew up that way, and I was the eldest, and I was the black sheep, actor, writer, comedian, pot growing son, where, my sisters are more straight edge, One's a teacher who has MS, the other works for a university. I live in the woods and do what I do. In terms of, if we really want to talk about how, like, for example, like for me, like if I want to talk about how I really want to feed, most of my feeding is never done. Most of what I do is super soil. That's my favorite way to do it. But my super soil is very expensive because I got to import a lot of shit using different backwattles from different continents because of the dietary requirements, the bats in the area that goes from different parts of the fucking life cycle and shit, and Italian, lime, and mixing different blood and bone meals from all over the world. Like, that's how I like to do it. So right now, I do what I do, but hopefully if I can save a few bucks, I'll show you guys my super soil. And, it's pretty good. No, ASO, I cannot be a wealthy individual in Canada doing what I do. Um, Legalization hasn't happened in Canada. Legalization for the government and corporate reality has happened. It is more illegal now in many ways than it was before. What? Am I an actor? Yes. Are you an actor too? What's your name mean? What's ASO Films? I also make films. Occasionally. Well, on my first co-written, co-directed, co-produced, etc. project was a TV pilot that we're working on, and we were trying to sell it, but we're working on that. We're still in the editing process. Organics is easier. I would say no, it's not, because it costs a lot of money to get the shit I want to do my organics. So I would say it's not easier, Corey. It's much easier for me to go to the fucking grocery store and use shit that I've been using for years that I know is at least completely okay. Because I've tested my shit that I've done with it, and is it what I want to do for the weird, nuanced, connoisseur asshole grower that I am? No. But it's a hell of a lot easier to do that. Especially in terms of physical reality, First time having a mortgage and all that shit, and trying to pay my shit and do my shit, you know what I'm saying? Matthew Campbell, my email is potsquatch420@gmail.com. POTSQUATCH420@gmail.com. I think, my friends, I have to go soon. I'm getting tired. So I'm going to call this cigarette the last part of our live stream tonight, everyone. I apologize for that, but I'm just quite tired and need to go. Long day ahead of Squatch tomorrow, my friends, I tell you. So, my friends, does anyone else have a question? We've got 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5. Fuck yeah, Lewis. Back at you, my friend, or a wonderful day. Matthew Campbell, I'm happy to help you or anyone. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm good at what I fucking do, and I'll say that. And I'm happy to help any of you. This is why I do this. I do this. It's non-monetized. Don't make a single fucking cent from this. I do this to help all of you motherfuckers. Pot squashes! Pot squash army. We people. Humans, you know? Fuck yeah. Share the knowledge. Pass it on. Learn, you know? I've learned, you know, it's cool because like I've had some new friends that I made. New growers, right? I learn things from them I never knew. Doing this a long time. You can always learn something from someone. I'm talking in terms of cannabis growing, okay? I don't want to be too vague on that. So, 1 second. I'm reading all things. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm a little bit blind. I apologize. Okay. Yep. Fuck yeah, Matthew. Right? Do you know who Mitch Hedberg is? I'm aware of who Mitch Hedberg was. I'll tell you something. When I was very young, I was at a party. And all of a sudden, I like making a joke. And then this drunk bitch comes at me like, you're like Mitch Hedberg. I'm like, I don't know who Mitch Hedberg is, but fuck that bitch, because this is me. So the funny thing is I had never seen Mitch Hedberg. This is just one of the characters that I do. And it turns out that Mitch Hedberg and me are very similar. I've done comedy shows. I was drunk and just did it. And they're like, okay, so Mitch Hedberg just came back. I'm like, no, Sasquatch was here, bitch. I'm doing me, man. I'm just having fun. Ralph Zockland. Wow. Saw you are live. Thanks. Your channel's cool, bro. Peace. Dude, thank you very much, dude. That I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, man. Really appreciate that. Back at you, Ralph Zockland. I love you, man. It's all good. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Anytime. I hope any of you peoples, you're my family. We are the weed people. I had to ask my first time watching. You remind me of him. That's why I subscribe, bro. And weed. You just genuinely made me laugh. And I'm a man who makes people laugh. That was funny. I gotta read that again. That's pretty good. My first time watching. You remind me of him. That's why I subscribe, bro. And weed. All right, man. Well, you know, the cool thing is, yeah, I get it. But don't worry, I don't do heavy drugs like Mitch Hedberg did. I just smoke a lot of weed and drink. I'm a functioning alcoholic, and I'll be all right. I come from 4,000 years of alcoholics. I'm working class serfdom, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, German, and British. You want to know where I came from? The people I came from were the people in the bottom of the Titanic, shoveling coal into the Titanic. Finishing the cigarette, but don't worry, there's a couple minutes left. I'm going to tune out soon, but I'm not going to be yet. It was very trippy though. You know, early on, this was a high school party when I was in high school. And, you know, this chick's like, oh my God, he's so Mitch Hedberg. I'm like, man, what are you talking about, man? Who is this Mitch Hedberg? But then I went home and I got stoned. I was like, oh, wait. There's a dude who's been doing this shit. But the funny thing is, I do a lot of things, and it's all me. So it's like, man, I have a great amount of respect for Mitch Hedberg. So, you know, hats off to you, Mitch Hedberg. Well, my friends, it's come time. I think there's a chug of beer left, and whatever's left in the can, if anything, I will drink to you. So, my fellow pot squatters, we are not in the Legion of Doom. We're in the Legion of fighting for our rights. Because guess what? It's just a fucking plant. So, ladies and gentlemen, word to your mother. Thumbs up. Shit, someone said, could you say this thing again like you used to? What was it? Are you watching that person? Probably not. Damn it, what was it? 1 second, guys. Maybe the beer will jumpstart my brain. Yep, no, I know. Didn't work. Cat got it. Well, put it this way. I don't remember what you wanted me to say. But here's looking at you, kid. Whoever you were. Pretend I said it. Send me an email. It was a comment that I read. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uncle Potsquatch saying, I fucking love you. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to learn. Be you. And get out there. Excuse me. And have a good time. Much love, everybody. I'm going to go fucking to sleep. Peace and love. How do I turn it off? Sorry. Up. Press the X. Sorry, everyone.